Welcome to Mondays with Max, or should I say Mondays with Max and King tonight. I asked if a few people would be interested in joining me, and he was nice enough to join me because it's been kind of a short weekend and was a little tired and thought it'd be fun since I know he had done some work and done some presentations on AI compute. So I thought we could talk about that tonight as well. So, but before we get into that, let me see who is here. Steven Cicero's first. Thanks for being a member. Nas City, thank you for being a member. Techman Ty, second TL. Burn, thanks for being a member. And I'm not going to say that after everyone, but thank you all for being members. I appreciate it. 10 minutes to midnight, son of a rabbit. John Germain, Nick the Best, Deep Parsh, haven't seen you in a minute. Good to see you. Vinny Del Greco, good to see you, sir. Gordon Murray, Lest the Dog C57, Bad Ace, Chump Change, the boss. I'll try to make sure I talk really loud so he can't go to sleep to my voice. That's just rude. Just rude. Offshore Miner. Let's see who else did. Shides. Dom G. Integra Guy 04. And Triple Nickel Technologies. And of course, the Mining King. T Gig. Todd Tebow. Black Hat Team. Dakota Miner. Daddy Chill. And Aragorn Strider makes it in under the wire. Last but definitely not least. Alrighty, guys. Thank you guys all for being here. I appreciate it. I know the Jets are on tonight, so I am positive that Hawk will not be here. So we will not be enjoying his company tonight. That's for sure.
It'll be a lot quieter in the chat, so it'll be all right.
For the record, Mining King said that, not me.
I'm a good
So,
friend. That's why I'm here.
yeah, there you go. Yes, color commentary. That's what you're here for, right?
That's
Um,
right.
so what you been up to today?
A lot of work. Yeah, a lot of work for the company today. Um, and then yeah, just staying up on my AI spreadsheets. Fixed some Octominers. I'm testing them right now. I'm still mining Telestai, so that's the coin I'm mining. Yeah, I think that's pretty much it.
It's
I'm really wishing that I didn't test for 30 days because it's an awful idea right now because so I'm just losing money out the door left and right. And I'm like, oh, I just want to switch right now. I can't take it anymore. It has been bad.
hello, goat. Appreciate you being here. Um, yeah. So you're talking about the AI compute, you mean?
Yeah, the 30-day test.
Yeah.
It sucks when it's not making money this week
It's
after week.
what's kind of weird is your results are a bit different than mine. Um, and I think part of it is it's basically all about catching good jobs. And like my I don't even know how many weeks it's been. I have had now, admittedly, they're not making probably as much as what you're making, although will have to, you don't get paid right away. And you have to basically convert it out of Flux, which you're going to lose some there as well. But
Yeah.
I'm making about 25 cents a GPU on the 4090s, and it just runs. And when I had a 3090 on Flux, when I originally did it, it worked really, really well. And then I had to redo it, create a new machine ID and everything, and then it wasn't picking up anything. And I think part of that was because there wasn't anybody new coming on for folding at home. I think you probably are you doing folding at home? Is that basically what's running on your machine?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. I've
So
run it for almost 21 days.
yeah. So eventually, if that person ever gets tired of it, you may lose that job, and then things may be significantly different, unless the Flux AI stuff comes, starts demanding more resources. And obviously, that's the hope at this point, that between that and Flux Medical and everything else, and out in my experience, certainly with the 3090, I was not getting much. Now with that said, I'm making 19 cents on a 3090 on Vast, and I'm making 7 cents on on two 3090s on Salad. So there's a big variation in what I'm making on 3090s between the two. So
Yeah.
as I've said before, I'm planning on moving um the 3090 over to another machine with another 3090, basically moving it over to a 7810, so that I can have both of them on there. I just had to figure out a way to mount it, which I have figured out. I just gotta jerry rig it and get it set up, but um and then take it down and hope I don't lose the job in the short period of time that's going to take to get it back up and running. But
Right.
yeah. um So yeah, obviously for you, Flux has been doing much, much better than the other two, correct?
Yeah. I mean, I even have a 4060 Ti on there, and I got picked up that night, and the 4060 Ti has been consistently rented. I think Jeffkey rented my system. I think he found it and rented it. But it's still rented, and thanks, Jeffkey. Appreciate it. If it's not you, then I appreciate whoever's doing it. But so like right now, like I have two 4060 Ti's, a 4070, and a 4090 on Salad. Only the 4090 is rented, and it's for $4.48 a day, is what it's been averaging, and it's like at 600-ish watts, so it's not great. You know what I mean?
Mhm.
Chlor in the dumpster. You know what I mean? Not rented at all. Now I could lower it way down below what it cost me to run the freaking thing. You know what I mean? Like
Yeah.
run it the price way down low. Yeah, I'll get rented, but that's not really a fair test, right? So
Yeah.
Flux set the standard at around 26 cents. Now I did lower VAST for a little while, down to like 14 or 15 cents, and it's been going rented off and on, right? It's like on and off rented. So
At
it's not,
14, 15 cents?
yeah, it's been
Oh, but
bad.
you're not verified,
I am
correct?
non-verified, but see, this test
Okay.
is just like the test I wanted to be is like if somebody just installed these
Right.
and
Right.
got on
Right.
these platforms, what's their experience going to be from day
Right.
one, right?
Right.
Not like somebody who's been on VAST, waited a year to get on the verified list, or did the verification dance. Salad, yeah, been bad. Chlor bad. There's actually a new AI platform that as soon as this test is over, I'm going to go test it out, because they specifically work with Stanford University and Cambridge. So I want to give that a try and see how it goes. And it's similarly, I want to say, as far as ease, it's something similar to Flux or Core, which is like a single line script that you run. So it's fairly easy. But I mean, as far as steady revenue, Flux has been the show.
Nice.
You just don't get paid out, all the time. That's its only con, right?
Right. Let me pop this up. Man, I gotta add it to this thing. There we go. So this was my experience a few weeks ago. This would have been like the second week of August, right? Basically when or near the beginning of when they were doing the folding at home thing. So yeah, Flux was doing slightly better than everybody else on 3090s. Um and I basically try to do it as net. Now, Flux, I didn't take into account the amount of money it would take to get out of it. You have to get to a minimum of 120 Flux. I was actually able to cash out. I did earn 120 Flux. Um, and so it was kind of funny because I had earned $60 and I was like, come on, Flux, go down, go down, go down. Because I wanted to get to the point where I could get 120 Flux.
Oh,
And I finally got there and I'm like, cool, I got 120 Flux. That was back when it hit when it hit just below 50. Now it's up, I believe it's up above 50 now, but yeah, they weren't that vastly different for me. But obviously each platform is different. I mean, Salad's like stupid easy to install. Um, Flux Core is not necessarily hard, but it helps if you know Linux, that's for sure. And there certainly are some things you need to know. And Vast AI, I would say is probably the hardest to do. But if you have a paint by numbers install like what you provide for your members, it's not hard. You just got to make sure you follow the exact set of directions in the exact order that they're given to you. Um, but Vast AI, I'd say, is kind of more the consistent demand. As far as if your one job drops off, what's the likelihood of catching another job? I think Vast is probably the best for that. FluxCore is still very, very new and not sure how the demand is going to be. I think it could vary quite a bit if people have a lot of success. Everybody watches your video and says, "Hey, get on Flux. It's going to be super easy to get a job on there." And then a whole mess of people come on there, and then you have the same thing you had with Salad, which is people until they were able to get more demand. A lot of people went unrented. Um, but fast forward to now, like I said, Vast is the one that's doing the work. I'm off of Flux for the time being, and Salad's been doing pretty well. Hang on, I'll actually bring that up here as well, or at least that was the plan. I'm in the wrong window. This is the window I want. Give me 1 second. Duplicate that, and then okay, there it goes. All right, let me bring this up. It's actually dropped off a little bit. today, but it's been somewhere in the range of around, no less than 10, but been in the range of around $14 to $15. If you go to like the 7 day, you can see this is 14, 12, 15, 14, 16, 19. That was a really good day. But a lot of the variation is whether or not my 4070 and 4070 Ti is getting rented. Because the 4070 Ti, they're making like $4.50 to $5 when they get jobs. So gonna take a while to get those jobs, and so just see how consistent it is. So if we go back to the 24 hours, I did have one of the cards for the most part running like that. Now, when I go down to like right around 10 cents, that means every card except for the 4070 and 4070 Ti is running on something. Maybe one other card might not be rented, but for the most part, but they're all rented at like $1.70 or something. So still way better than mining, but most of the stuff is 3060 Ti's, so I'm not complaining. 3060 Ti's and one 3060, all of them making between $1.65 and $1.90 a day. So, really no complaints there. Have you tried running any of the lower cards on Salad?
I had a 3060. Can't. It's laying around here somewhere. I have 4060 Ti's, so I have the 16 gig variants. They when they get jobs, they do well, right?
Mm-hmm.
They've actually pretty much paid themselves back, right? I've made
Nice.
Those have predominantly been on, and I get $4.50 to $5 a day, and they've pretty much paid themselves back. Cause I only paid $300 each for them.
Mm-hmm.
Lately, like over the last two weeks or so, maybe a little bit more, they just haven't had any jobs. It's been really, really slow with those guys. The 4070, 4060 Ti's I have not had hardly any jobs at all, really. So which surprises me because these machines just stay on all the time, so my reliability score should be, really, really good.
Mm-hmm.
So I'm considering other platforms. The thing I don't like about Salad is the jobs are so short and inconsistent. Like, to me, it's like, why is my 4090 most times only making $6 a day when my 4060 Ti I paid $300 for, making like $475? You know what I mean? That doesn't seem right to me. We should be well above that. You know what I mean?
Right.
If you're thinking about it from a cost perspective, because it's like, well, I'll just buy a bunch of 4060 Ti's. But I tried that strategy and it worked for a little while, but I think there's either too many of them on there now, or they just don't have jobs for them anymore. The Salad jobs are short because they're containerized, so they just come on, do their work really quick, and jump off. And the nice thing about Vast and Flux is that they're long-term rentals, right? There was when I had that 30. Yeah, when I had that 3060 and that guy rented it for like 8 months. It got verified and everything. Like, it was like that thing was just solid rented for like 12 cents for a 3060. And everyone's like, everyone's like, that's crazy. They're like, we can't even get 8 cents for ours. I'm like, I don't know. It's he picked it up and the guy literally stayed on it for forever. It was amazing. But yeah, that's kind of my experiences.
So this is what I've been finding on Salad, not on Salad, on Vast, which has been pretty interesting, is over the last month, you see all these like little spikes. Is basically you'll have somebody who will download a job to you and then will activate it for like a couple of minutes and then deactivate it for like 10.
Yeah,
and then
that's what they're doing to me right now on my 4090 there.
Yeah, exactly. I hated that. So I was priced higher and I was getting that and I'm like, shit, I'll price it lower so I can just get something consistent. Because because I don't like that kind of work. I'd rather have the the steady work. Now it is hammering it a bit. It's basically at full TDP. Um, so although I did lower the TDP with NVIDIA SMI command. Shh.
Max.
So
We tell people not to do that here. This guy's doing it right here.
I know. So you gotta really look at when you're doing it. Like what I did is I made sure that the clock stayed at least the spec, what the actual spec of a 4090 is. So the clocks are still, while they're maybe like 100, 150 megahertz less. Um, but I needed to do it just because I was putting too much power through my 30 amp circuit. So needed to lower everything a little bit. Plus the heat was getting really bad at that. But I got to move some things around. I have a couple of other things besides my two big vast rigs on that 30 amp circuit, and I need to move those other things off of that. And then I can put it back to being normal. But hey, guess what? I mean, they've been running like that for 4 weeks. No complaints, no nothing. I'm sure they're seeing the results, and I'm sure they're happy with them. Because like I said, I made sure that the clocks didn't go low. So Joker Miner with a $4.99 super chat. I appreciate it. No wonder he did a super chat. He's giving me half of his daily take from his $9 4090 job.
It's free.
Oh, he's got 3 of them like that?
No, I said it's free.
Oh,
because he's using his earnings.
So Joker, you're on that $9 job. Now, from what I've heard, you have 128 gig in that machine. Is that correct? That might be the secret sauce as to how you get those $9 jobs on Salad. Well, we'll see.
Man, I've spent so much money on Salad. I'm like, I don't know if I can do it. But I had a $9 job, $9.30 job on my 4060 Ti 16 gig for 2 days.
Wow.
And it was, and it wasn't even using that many resources. It was like at 48 gigs.
Wow. Yeah. How much memory did you have in the machine? Did you have 128 gig in the machine?
I had 100. I have 128 in it, but I only used 48.
Yeah, they don't want to use more than half. Thank you, Vinny, for gifting the memberships. Very much appreciate it. The winners are Smash the Like Bros, Joker Miner, Offshore Miner, Jean.
He just got his $5 back.
Yeah, there you go. He got his $5 back. Rogelio Esquire. Is Esquire? I think I got the Rogelio right, at least. Crypto Craig. Damn, I never win a membership. By the way, if you have your standard, your base YouTube account, and then you put your YouTube name and all that kind of stuff as a sub account to that, and then you log in always as that, you will never ever win a membership if you are logged in as that. I will never, because I'm always logged in as Max Voltage Mining and Crypto, and never logged in as Max Voltage. So if you're like I said, that sub account that you make, your brand account,
right,
or your brand channel, if you're logged in as that, you will never ever win a membership when somebody gifts them. Just be aware.
Well, I mean, Craig's a big timer. He can afford it. He's a Casper whale.
Joker Miner, 96 of the 128 gig are used. Wow. It has made me think, should I spend the money to upgrade?
I thought the same thing when he said that, but I'm like, I don't know. I have 128 gigs, but it's all they're all in the workstations, so there's not enough power. I mean, I could hook up a regular power supply and just
you'd have to run 2 power supplies. You have to run the base power
yeah.
supply and that. That's what I'm gonna have to do when I run the 3090, because I run one 3090 on the base power supply because it's 825 watts. But when I run the second 3090 on it, I'm gonna have to run a second power supply. Good times, good times. Um, so anyway, but yeah, but you can see, like, for a 4090, and actually these have gone up. These have definitely gone up recently. So the 21, that has been there for a little while, but the median has gone up, I think, a little bit, and I think the high has definitely gone up at 39 cents an hour. So like I said, I'm kind of, like I said, in the middle. 25 cents on the 4 GPU one, actually on the 8 GPU one. The problem I have with the 8 GPU one is I'm running 8 on the H12. So I only have 5 slots to hook up to for 16 lanes in each one of those. So I'm using basically the splitters from C-Pane and running 8 lanes to each of the risers that I have. So that's how I'm getting 8. So I'm running PCIe 4 by 8, and that does hurt my score. So
Yeah,
yeah,
the next jump, but the next jump up in a board though to get that many slim size connections is pretty expensive.
oh yeah, no kidding. And I'm happy with what I'm making. But it has made me think, like, should I move some of those out, put them in the other one? No, I should just buy more and make that one a 6 instead of a 4. That's what I need to do. And I have found open box. They're like 1620 is what they are, 1620. They're always the gigabyte OC 4090. And so I saw one recently actually at Micro Center. Let me see if it's still there. So I could get that on a 6 months payment if I wanted to. And then let's see if it's still here. Checking in a different window. 4090 RTX. Let's see.
Max is like able to just find any and all deals on 4090s.
Oh well, heck yeah.
He's the scavenger hunter here.
Yep. Oh yeah, it's still there. Westmont, $1,619.96. One open box. So they didn't have one in Chicago. And then I did actually see one at Best Buy, same price. Let's see if that one's still there. I bet that one's gone.
I know that Zotac has them for 1,600 and change right now on their Zotac store, open box 4090s.
That is the wrong one. How much is? What is it?
Hold on. Let me get on my window here. Zotac store. It is. Maybe I was wrong. Nope, it's 1529. Open box 4090. 1529. But obviously you can't do any kind of like you won't be able to do any like financing like you can at Best Buy, and like dude Max's like, his hustle kind of,
Yeah, that's the thing. Yeah, actually Best Buy, they still do have the $1,620 one, and this one is shipped. It's not like you have to be near the store or anything.
Yeah, I was thinking about doing that deal that you did.
Yeah, you mean 18 months financing now on the card.
I just wonder though, should I just wait for the 5090 and just not even bother?
Who
That's like
knows when they're gonna be out though? That's the thing. And how much would you make on it before you'd have to resell it anyway? So let's say you get it now. Let's say you don't even get it installed until October. Earliest they're going to announce a 5090 is going to be January at the earliest. at probably what is the
CES.
consumer? Yeah, and so even so, and then they may not release it until like the end of February. That's what I'm thinking, that they won't release it. And then what are your odds of getting a 5090 on the first go around?
I know some people with bots. I mean, it's pretty high.
Okay. Now the other part of it is that great, but I'm thinking the 5090 is going to be closer to $2,500. So now all of a sudden you're like 4090 versus 5090 is the 50, well, the 5090 is going to be great, probably twice the performance of the 4090, but you know, is it worth waiting if it's going to be $2,500? And so to me,
Yeah.
there's just so much unknown. I'd rather rest it on more what's known. So even if, fine, the 5090 comes out and you're like, hey, I want to transfer everything to 5090s, fine. Go sell your 4090s for $1,000 a piece. I would still come out ahead if I sold them all for $1,000 and then refinanced basically back into a 5090. I could live with that. Now, I'm certainly going to try to get more than $1,000 for them, no question. But I'm just saying that I think that would be the low end of what you would be able to get for a 4090.
Right.
So that's I don't know. That's kind of what I'm thinking. Let me put us back. Ah, wrong thing. There we go.
Yeah. So yeah, I haven't made a decision. I have my H12 is over there on the ground. RPM
Good place
style.
for it.
Yeah. It's just sitting there. I'd have to get more power supplies because I only have one because I was only running 2 on it before.
Mm-hmm.
So I would need to get some more power supplies. I would have to invest more money in it. So it's a lot of money. There's obviously risk, right? Because you need to pay it back.
Yep.
I don't know. I have a
There
lot
is
going
risk.
on.
To me, there is risk, but to me, it's out of all the things that you can invest in right now, I think it's the least amount of risk, in my opinion. It's less
No,
risky than
yeah.
investing in an ASIC.
Oh, yeah. We won't get into that from my
No.
previous
That
Sunday
wasn't
night
my
stream.
point. It was not my
No, I know.
point. But I'm just
My
saying that
Sunday night rant.
that the reason why I'm doing this is I've evaluated each of the opportunities, and to me, this is the better and less risky opportunity. You have an asset that's you can easily liquidate if things aren't working out. Obviously there's risk that you might have to sell it at more of a discount than what you think because everybody else is going to be doing the same thing too. But I don't know, you're also in a market that theoretically should continue to grow. It shouldn't go away anytime soon. It's just a matter of like with the ASICs. I mean, yes, ASICs aren't going away and there's a need for mining, but if everybody's coming into it, then if you've got a 3060 or a 3060 Ti and somebody needs or can get at a much cheaper price, a 4090, those cards will eventually go away from being able to be rented most likely. But I don't know. Trying to remember who was saying it. I think it was either Jeffkey or the State of the Salad. One of the two was saying like there's a ton. No, it was State of the Salad. They're like there's a ton of jobs out there that could do just fine with 4 gigs of RAM. I was like, really? Like, yeah, there's plenty of them out there. I think he was even saying like folding at home could easily be done on 4 gigs of RAM.
Oh,
But I don't
yeah.
know. But anyway, I thought it was interesting that a lot of different cards. All right, I've been letting things scroll by me on the chat. So let me go back to the chat. Let's see here. Joker Miner says, you don't have to do it, just letting you all know that you don't have to, that's for sure. CryptoCrack says 128 gigs seems safe, especially if you have the 4090. In general, you want 4 times RAM to VRAM, so 128 seems reasonable for most platforms. Yeah, not wrong, not wrong at all. Swamp 7, you're nuts for renting below 40 cents per hour for a 4090. Yeah, I mean, remember it's a different rate. I mean, 40 cents per hour um back then, yeah, I used to rent for that amount, but it was rare because that means you were over 50 cents for the person renting it. So 40 cents per hour should net of rental should net you 30 cents per hour, but that's what I'm talking about. I'm talking about setting the price of what I would be making. Um, so I'm just looking at the range of the prices. I don't want to let it sit idle. If I can make money, I'm going to make money. That's the way I look at it. So I'm not the one setting the prices, but I'm going to look at where everybody else has set the price, and I'm going to make sure I'm putting my unit in a good position to get, something of the next job. So what I do when I'm actually setting prices is I change it to North America only, and then whatever kind of rig it is, not just the GPU itself, but how many cards are in the rig. So if I'm setting my 4-card rig, I'm looking at that. I'm also looking at the performance of the rigs as well, and then I set my price accordingly to what others are being rented for and what others are offering for. So I look at all that before deciding what I'm gonna set my price at. Of course, that was a while ago. So
What is your rented rate right now?
rented
For
rate
average
is
for
at
your A
25
card.
cents on the 4 GPU rig, and on, hang on, let me calculate it real quick. Because the way it works with, you have other things set on it, not just the price
Yeah.
per hour type thing. So let me take it. It's 1.795 divided by 8. 795 divided by 8. So that one's at 22 point, a little over 22.4 cents on that one. But like I said, on that one, um, what's the measurement I'm thinking of? The DL perf score on it is pretty low for 4090s
And that's
because
just
it's only running
because
on
you're
8
splitting.
lanes. Yeah,
Yes,
'cause it's only
you're
running
Gen
8 lanes.
316 because you're
Oh no,
408.
I'm Gen 4 8 months, same thing. Gen 4 8
Yeah,
lane, Gen 3 16, doesn't matter.
it's the
But
same
yeah,
truth.
that basically that speed is what it's running at. So the DL perf score on a 4090, it does affect it. That speed does matter on a 4090.
So I
So
should probably it
I
would
would only run
probably only
4.
be it'd only be
I,
good to do 4 on the H12.
yeah, I would run 4.
Or I mean or 5, I guess, if you
You
wanted to
could
do.
run 5. The problem with running 5 is that means you have to set it up so that you only rent one at a time. When really what you want is you want to rent 4 at a time, because at
Oh,
4 at a
because
time
it's
you
the
can set your
one.
price higher.
Yeah.
Or you could
All
just set the
right.
price higher as if you were renting 4 at a time, and then somebody will eventually pick up the 4 most likely. But um yeah, so like when I eventually expand out the 6 GPU rig I've got, um I'll end up setting it up where it's 2 at a time, not 4. Yeah, when you have an odd number, it's kind of weird. Um, but yeah, the problem is that's the other thing with Vast is, so now I'm kind of stuck at 8 because I'm verified. If I lower the number of GPUs, forget it. You can never go down on a machine ID. You can never go down on the number of GPUs. Always, you can only go up. So if I were to try to go down, I lose verification. It won't work. Nothing. So I'm kind of stuck with that one. I have to stay at 8. So, all right, let me see what else did I miss. That was Crypto Craig. Oh no, Swamp 7. Joker Miner says, got a 4060 Ti 16 gig on eBay, 375 all in. That's not a bad price. Um, Swamp 7, hit me up. My supplier has a ton of I'm guessing RAM that have motherboards that have Broadcom switches that support 8 GPUs at full 16 4.0 for cheap. Huh. Okay. I will hit you up for that. Because we all know that the H12 is a little finicky, especially when it comes to power. I had to
Yeah.
switch to Seasonic Prime in order to make sure that thing ran. And
Have
believe me, it doesn't blink at this point. It just runs. But it
have
was
you
not
have
always
you
like
had
that.
an issue where it doesn't read the M.2 or NVMe?
I have not had that issue, no.
I've had it to where it ran fine for months, and then the NVMe will just drop off the face of the earth, and I'll have to just constantly cycle it to get it to read it right, and then it'll
Oh,
pick it up eventually again. Yeah, it's
nope. I've not had that problem, thankfully. Let's see. Oh, Rizzo529 says, I won the KS0 Pro from Hobbyist. I am grateful and don't want to bastardize this thing. Anyone have a PSU I can buy for less than Ice River? Oh, so basically you got it without the power supply. Um Honestly, I'd probably just put it on a server power supply if you have one. That you usually can get those pretty cheap at this point, and then get a cable
from
from
Mr. Dave.
Veteran. Yep.
Yeah,
Um, Static is asking, would you all buy 4080 Ti's for 1,000? 4080 Supers. The thought has crossed my mind because there have been deals, open box deals for 4080 Supers for less than $900. It's been like 899 or 889, something like that. I've been
yeah,
tempted.
but what do they make though?
What do you mean? Oh, what do they make? That's the real question. So that's part
Right.
of the problem. Like, here, let me reshare this. And then let
I'm curious because
me,
this is like if you went on salad, it's gonna make like $5 or $6. You know what I mean?
yeah, here's
Which you
hang on. Give me, so if I move this to the 4080 Super, so you see how many right now they have 6,300 4090s. So they've got a good supply. People know to look for those. The problem is that you go to a 4080 Super and they have 26. So nobody's looking for these. So some things are rented, and in this particular case, a lot of things are rented, but they're not rented for very much. That's the verified for between 12 cents and 21 cents. Not
that's
horrible, but to me, why bother? Go for density at that point. Because you know, if you it's linear at that point. Yeah, you're paying a third less, but you're making about a third less, or maybe even more than a third less than you would with a 4090. So, but I think most of that can be attributed to, well, certainly it only has 16 gig, but the other part of it is that nobody's looking for them. That's the same problem I ran into with 4070 and 4070 Ti's when I ran them on Vast. Nobody's looking for them. So you'll run, get a good job, and then when somebody falls off, it takes a while to get somebody to hop
what
back on your GPU.
what about the 7900 or 7900 XTX? I know they have support for those now.
That I have no. Well, I see.
Is
Let
there a
me
metric for it?
Yeah, let me see. I haven't actually looked for it, so I got to find it. Radeon Pro 7. Oh, yeah, 7900 XTX.
Yeah,
1.
one.
1 unverified and available. Yeah, that's what I kind of figured. What else? What was the other one? Or were you, let's see, even
Oh,
Radeon?
just an XT because the
Oh, okay.
XT and the XTX will be able to do rock them.
Yeah, Radeon Pro 7 is 8 unverified and available. Just nobody's looking for them. That's the thing. You also want to make sure you're using something that people are familiar with and want to just, oh, okay, I'll just grab a 4090 because that's what they know. I don't think there's anything else that's AMD. I love this P104, P106. Here, let's see, 3060 Ti. Yeah, if you want to make like rented somewhere between 4 and 6 cents. per hour on it. Salad for these GPUs, if you can catch a job, kills, absolutely kills, puts to shame Vast, the lower end ones.
Yeah, I think the secret is there's more of these platforms that have spun up, right? And
Mhm.
they're starting to get like a huge influx of hosts, you know, because of Max making all this content here about it. uh, but I think the key is going to be going forward is not having your machines all at one place, right? Kind of like making it decentralized. Like you're probably going to have strategies where certain cards do better, right, on certain platforms, and
Mhm.
that's going to have to be your strategy, right?
Yep.
Because I'm surprised it hasn't picked back up more. School's in full swing. Like I'm waiting for for the AI to really come back, because the prices that you're over on Vast, I was getting that, like, you know what I mean, unverified before I left Vast,
No,
and
I know.
it's down
It's
in the
still,
toilet.
I mean, you have to think of it this way. Let me go back to 4090s because this is always the good example. And then
Oh
let
man,
me put it out
Panda
further.
Panda just said he's playing Rust. That means that if anyone wants to see a red hairy bush, to go play Rust with Panda.
My God. Alrighty then. Okay, so this certainly isn't like an ASIC chart, but you can see that, if we look just a year ago, there were only about 1,500 4090s
4090s.
on the platform. Now we're
So
looking at 6,300. So it's multiplied by 4 times,
over a year. Over
right?
a year. Yeah.
So if you look at this chart at the bottom, the I don't know, the blue line, I guess, that is your verified demand. So that is where you're seeing. So basically, you basically saw the peak right about here, which was the end of May. That's why we've been talking about, hey, that's about when school got out. People were finishing up the senior projects, yada, yada, yada. And then things started to level off and started to drop off. So we're hoping that as we get back into school, things will pick back up. Now, if you look at it, it's like right here, that's about 43 to 4,400 verified units that are rented. I'm sorry, no, it's total. So 3,600 plus about 4,600 rented approximately. If we go back to here where it was at its peak, what's that number? About the same. It's a little bit higher at the end of May, but that little peak right there is almost well, you can see I've got it at that peak, and look at what was above it.
Max, you're talking about the chart and nobody can see it.
Oh, sorry.
I just want to
Let
point
me
that
add it
out.
back to the scene. Sorry. Okay, so this was on the far right of the screen. You can see where I've got my little mouse over here. That was on 9.6, that little peak.
Right.
And you can see there's only one peak that's higher than that. So technically, our demand has come back, maybe not permanently, but we've seen it come back to the same level.
There's just too many people on the platform
There's
now.
just a lot more people on the platform. I mean, back here, look at how close it was. And this one, while it definitely got closer to what the verified supply was, it's still nothing like here, or nothing like God when it was this. This was like you could ask whatever you wanted, whether you were verified or non-verified. They could not get enough cards. They couldn't bring enough cards onto their platform fast enough back in January and February. It was amazing. But this is typical. Right now we're at a point where more supply has come in and the demand hasn't kept up yet. It will. It will. It's just going to take some time. So,
Right.
but yeah, this is just the normal ebbs and flows of any market for that matter. You have supply and demand. Sometime supply grows faster than demand, therefore prices drop. Sometimes demand goes faster than supply and prices go up. It's just simple economics. And right now, if you're a supplier of GPU compute, you liked it a lot better in January and February of this year. That's for sure. Like I said, those
Right,
were amazing
exactly.
times where I was freaking pricing it like 60 cents per GPU. I mean, it was nuts. But right now now I know people that set prices higher. I know Aragorn has set prices higher and he's been getting them. I don't know if it's been as consistent as what I have, but typically if you can get a job, people will stay on unless you get one of these bouncy, what I'll call the bouncy jobs. But um
Right.
let's see what else, who else has tagged me. Um So Aragorn says 5090s next year. Good. Move time for more time for me to break even on my 4090s from Brandon. Oh, you're getting 4090s from Brandon, huh? I didn't know he had 4090s.
He
Huh.
did. He had 2 of them for sale for pretty cheap. I almost took them.
Dang it.
It was cheaper than max voltage cheap.
What? Oh, that's a
Yeah.
bummer. I'm gonna have to talk to him that he did not tell me about them. But you probably told him not to because you were trying to save me from myself. So okay, that's fair.
I'm sorry. I'm sorry, Sunflower Mama, if you can hear me. I'm sorry to feel this addiction.
All right, looking to the next. So yeah, sorry, Crypto Crack, I didn't see the chart. Now you still see the chart when I'm not even talking about it. So I'm gonna take it down, pass it around. All right, there we go. Let's see what else we got here. Yeah, no chart showing. I know. Do you think Flux got a better? Oh, I hate that damn heart. Second TL
You
says, do you
think
think
has a
Flux
bit?
got a better strategy? I think. Strategy by setting the cluster. There it is. Yeah, strategy. By setting the cluster limits to manage supply. Um, I don't know. I mean, the cluster limit was still 500, so it was still fairly large.
Right.
Um,
I I think I think like there's pros and cons to VAS, right? Like if you see my tests, Chlor and VAS, they're similar, right? Where Salad and Flux are a little similar, right? But they're both controlled by the teams, right? And they
mhm,
control and dictate the pricing of
right.
the job you get. Like Aragon showed, or was it Aragon? Somebody showed me a picture of them being on FluxCore, and they were making 3 cents more an hour than I was, and I'm like,
Yep.
what the heck? You know what I mean? But
Mhm.
I don't determine that. I don't know. I didn't see the what is he running, folding at home, or I don't know. Maybe he's doing something else, right? Um,
Well, no. So
but
if you actually go, you can actually go on there. If you go to Flux Edge and set up an instance, you then have to choose a GPU, and you can see the GPUs that are out there, and they all have different prices, even though they're the same
really,
GPU. Yeah. Yep.
is that because of the
I don't know why.
resources though that are on the machine?
I'm guessing, but
I'm assuming that has.
I looked at
Yeah,
things and I was like, that doesn't make sense. It's the same one as mine, but he's getting charged $3 more per hour, and it's the same thing. I don't get it. But there may be some things in the background that they've tested. They've done some benchmarking of their own. Maybe his benchmark better than mine. I don't know.
maybe it's fiber. Maybe it has symmetrical fiber both ways, right?
Yeah.
I miss my fiber
Oh,
so
by the
much.
way, I should have mentioned it. That, by the way, those red spinny fans, that is that's like the Batman call. That's the call for Red Panda to dial in, to call in.
Oh
It's not
man,
working.
dude, Panda never calls in.
I know it's
Panda
not
never calls
working.
in.
I know it's not working. I thought it was worth a shot.
um,
Thought maybe you'd get and go,
I
"Oh,
think
I get it." Go ahead.
I think
Sorry.
though that Flux does have a good strategy though, right?
I do
Because
too. I think so too.
with Vast with Vast though is like right now people are they're pricing down, right? Because there's obviously too much supply and not enough demand, right? people want to get rented, so their prices will keep coming down. They're eventually, like, a guy's going to sit there for 2 weeks, not be rented, and he's going to drop it down a little bit, right? Because he's going to be like, well, I need to start making some money. You know what I mean? Even if it's only a little bit of money. The nice thing with Flux, though, is they keep that pricing level, right, to where the profitability doesn't change. But with that aspect too, though, that means that maybe sometimes the hosts will leave because they don't get jobs for long periods of time, right? You know what I mean? Because once again, there's more supply than there is demand. I don't know. I kind of, honestly, out of all the platforms I've used so far, my only caveat to Flux is there's two, right? One is that I'm not being paid out at some kind of an interval. You know what I mean? During my job.
Right.
Like, even if I get you that you're trying to incentivize me to keep my machine up for your customer, right? To make sure, because if you don't complete the job, then they got to go get it somewhere else, right?
By the way, I
get
did
it.
find out it was 20% every time I lost. So it wasn't just
Ooh.
whether you do it by accident or you do it intentionally versus not intentionally, it doesn't matter. It's 20%.
Ooh, that sucks.
Yeah.
But yeah, I think overall, though, they're doing the best. So yeah, it's not being paid out. And then the other thing is to manage it, you have to be locally to the network, right? You have to do the machine.to remote flux core thing. You know what I mean?
Yep.
Which I'll just use OpenVPN because I have a VPN tunnel back to my house, which is fine.
Right.
You know what I mean? But I'm saying is I would like a some type of rig management. You know what I mean? To where I didn't have to VPN all the way home, but it's also secure that way. So I understand both aspects of it. That's probably my only two complaints from them. Other than that, the GUI is probably the best. The install is pretty easy. The only trip up is I like to uninstall I don't know if I'm going to pronounce this right. I'm going to butcher it, but is the Noveo, the Linux drivers.
Yeah, the new
the Linux drivers that are stock for NVIDIA, right? I like to remove those before I install my actual drivers from NVIDIA. And then obviously the editing of the host file, right, for FluxCore to be able to connect to the rig properly, right, to see it. Besides that, though, their guide is spot on. I think they're doing real well. And
I think so too.
And Jeff Key, when I had him on my show last, it sounded really like they're doing really well, and they have a lot of people that are coming on the platform as far as customers, and they are aware that this is a like testing battleground, right? It's a beta or alpha, I would say like beta, and I hope they just keep bringing in more and more clients. You know what I mean? And I think them having an outlet for like bounties, because they have such a huge following in Discord, you know what I mean? Could really set them up, you know what I mean, for any type of job, like whether it's for 4070s, 3060s, whatever, you know what I mean? They could have all kinds of bounties out there, and have a huge amount of GPUs come online. It's hard to get 4090s because they're obviously, very expensive.
Sorry, Red Panda. Oh, let me see if I can find that in here, or I can post it. Obviously not guilty enough that you're going to call in.
Yeah, he did leave a link in our chat, Panda, and I don't see it yet. So at least I'm a supportive friend, Panda. I'm a supportive friend. Okay.
Yes, I can count on Mining King. It's all love, man. All love, man. We love to give Red Panda a hard time. Alrighty, sorry. I just had to. I saw that. I was like, what? Wait a minute. Hold on. Sorry, I gotta look back to see what somebody commented.
Is there any other AI platforms you've come across that you're thinking about trying at all, Max?
Okay, hold on. So, are you going to tell me what platform you're thinking about going on?
I mean, I'm not going to tell you right now because we're
Right,
live.
of course. So I'm just saying. So no, I'm not going to tell you.
No.
Yes, there
I
have
didn't
been
ask
some.
that. What I asked was, look, I didn't say you had to
Oh,
say
okay.
what
All
it
right.
is. I asked,
Got it.
are you looking into other platforms?
Yes, there's one in particular I'm looking at, but I can't get on it yet, which I'm sure will tell you a lot as to which one I'm talking about. The last time I looked, they were still not accepting new people on the platform. I'm actually just going into their Discord right now to see if there were any announcements. Nope, I don't see any announcements of. I think they said end of September, beginning of October was when they might open it back up. So we'll see. We'll see. And I know there was another one. I know you had told me about the one you were talking about, and I can't even remember at this point what it was, but yeah.
It's good. Forget about it. Don't give
it.
me more competition.
Yeah, I don't remember. Wink, wink. All right. So let's see. Oh, before anybody asks me, no, I haven't done anything with my NAS. I have done literally zero with it since I first put just a bunch of pictures on it that took not even a terabyte, probably took 80 gig of space, and that's it. Been meaning to want to do something with it, especially the remote thing I've talked about. I have to spend some time in learning how to do it. Aragorn Strider. Anyway.
Max
Strider.
Max got
Ixnay on that.
You should have not said anything now.
Yeah.
Should have just let it go.
I should have. Oh, there he goes. He retracts it. Oh, that fixed everything.
Yeah.
Anyway, that's funny.
What about?
Go ahead.
Did anybody ever make any good money on those other ones that came out that they were trying to get us? Well, at least they were asking me to advertise a little bit for. Was it Nodes AI? I know Panda did a video about it.
I didn't do that one. There's another
or
one.
Hash. Was it Hash?
I actually was just looking at that. I got to go back and look because they said they were coming out with an announcement. I'd been in their Telegram, was asking them. They are making strides where it sounds like they are going to become not just their own data center, which is basically what they're doing right now, but that they will be opening it up for community rentals. That's what I thought they said. Don't quote me on that at all. It's a work in progress. Doesn't mean it's going to come to fruition because that's not their focus, or at least was not their initial focus. So, anyway, we'll see. I'm keeping an eye on them. I will be doing some content on them when the time is right. Basically, I find them very interesting. So I'm kind of just waiting until I find it like so interesting where then I can be like, hey, check this out. They're not there yet, I don't think. So when they are, I'll put something out about it. But I am keeping an eye on them. But yeah, Nodes AI. I've heard that like they had a really good time getting a lot of people on board with GPUs. But I don't know, and I think that they were like forking over a lot of their own money in order to like keep these people on the platform. But I don't know. I really don't know enough about it to really say much about it. Amplifier Gaming, good to see you, sir.
There was another one that I tested when I first got here to Missouri. I don't want to throw it out there yet either because it's early on access. But
I remember what that one was.
But anyways, because I made a machine, even though it was for a little while, I'm grandfathered in, so I don't have to pay the 25%. I only pay. They're only gonna tax me by 10.
Oh, you lucky dog.
So, because it says as long as you make one machine, you'll be grandfathered in. I'm like, okay, I'll just make a VM.
It's too late to do that now, right?
Because here's the other thing is they also rent out just CPUs as well, so it doesn't have to have a GPU in it. See, that was the nice part. And I'm not saying the name. You'll have to Google some stuff and do some research. And
There's a lot of platforms out there. I mean, that's the thing, and that's a good thing. Obviously, some are gonna have more legs than others. I mean, that's the thing. I look at like Vast, and while I like it, um, and there is a good community around it, I feel like it's the community that makes it, not the developers. I feel like the
oh,
developers
those
kind of are like, yeah, you
they
need to
hate.
figure it out. You don't know enough to
Yeah.
be on our platform. Go away.
That's exactly how they are. I remember when I asked them questions, they're like, "Yeah, just go in the Discord." I'm like, "Oh, okay." I'm like, "I'm just supposed to ask random strangers to help me." Like,
There
you
are some
can't help
random
me.
strangers in there that will help you though. There's a
There,
there's a bunch of really good people
there's
in there.
there's good people, but then there's also some trolls in there. So just
Yes, there
watch
are.
out.
Like, God, you're an idiot. Seriously, dude? Come on, things like that. Yeah. Like, yeah, well, thank you to so and so and so. I really appreciate your help. Yeah. It takes all kinds to make the world go round.
Yeah, I mean, so to me, I like that Flux has their install is really good, right? You know what I mean? It's really simple.
Mhm.
It's a script. Um, and same with Chlor. If I got rented on Chlor, it's their actual guide. Out of all the platforms, I'm going to give a 10 out of 10. Right? They had a video, and all I did is I just wanted to see if I followed the step by step video, will
Mhm.
it work? Right? I'm not going to deviate from anything in this video. I'm not going to do anything of my vast techniques or like pre-install stuff, whatever. I'm just going to do exactly what they say in this informational video, and it worked.
Hmm.
And it's on their platform. So to me, because Flux, there's that whole host file and a
Well, there's
couple other.
that, but didn't you have to? It says, do this, install the driver, and run the
Yeah.
benchmark. And if it doesn't work, it doesn't use your GPU, go ahead and do all these other steps. Well, I had to do those other steps every single time.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
But see, look, this is so the reason why I do the Novo removal stuff is because I always find that if you install NVIDIA, on top of that, it's usually always a problem, and
Oh, okay.
that's why I always in the VAST guide those steps remove all of those, so this way you can get a clean install on your Linux system.
Got
Yeah.
it. Well, that might be the reason why. But yeah,
But
I had
see,
to
but
install
see, if
those
they
other things.
if 80% of the people that install Flux run into this problem, then they should have it in their guide that this
Yeah.
should be step 1 and 2. Even if though let's just say some people don't have that problem, but like most people do, I would just have that in the guide just to make sure that everybody clears through and has a clean install, right?
Well, I installed 4 times. 4 times. Yeah, I think it was 4 times. And every single time I installed it, and it was on 2 different machines. So it didn't matter which machine I was on. One was an Epic system, one was a Xeon system. So that is my results. Oh, Red Panda, I hate it when you retract messages. I can't see what he said. I feel like as a content provider, I think anybody who retracts a message, I think the person running that video should be able to see that chat. That's what I think. Put it up for a vote.
Everyone just start
Uh,
retracting your messages to trigger Max. I don't even care if it just says LOL.
no.
Just retract all of it. I just want to see a bunch of retracts. It'll be hilarious.
Yeah, thanks. Appreciate that.
Oh.
I like it. Offshore miner, it should be an auto ban. I agree. Oh, you red panda. You jerk.
Uh,
Uh-oh, Brandon is here and he is trying to get me to buy some stuff, I think.
oh, hey, use disco count Jarrett. Use my name and you get 5% off.
Okay, sweet.
And that's anything, even the little mini ASICs.
Oh, he just wants to know how much longer I'm going to stream because he's going live.
Oh,
That's all. Not trying to sell me anything. Okay. Oh my God, you people. All right, I guess fine. I'm just gonna end the stream now since Brandon's going live and you guys are doing all that. So
oh man, I started it now. I triggered him.
you did. Yes, we'll raid. In fact, well, I'm not sure if Brandon Coin. Well, let's see. Let's see if I can shoot. How do I do it from here? Can I do edit? Customization, redirect. Let's see. No. Choose specific video. What?
You should be able to search.
Oh, that's interesting. That's really interesting. So, I follow a guy named Tom Grassi. He's got like 685,000 subscribers. He's a Green Bay fan, extremely entertaining when it comes to football. So I love watching him. So I had actually reached out on like a chat saying, hey, or was it a chat or did I send him? No, I put a comment in on one of his videos. I'm like, hey, I stream on Mondays. I would love to be able to like forward people over to you after I'm done. Obviously if I'm going to do it for Brandon tonight, um, but yeah, I'm going to do that sometime. And then what he may do is, cause during halftime, when he does a live stream, he does like paying it forward where he'll just like literally come into somebody's stream for like a minute or two and then go on to the next one. So he does like 3 or 4 in a row. But it's pretty cool when all of a sudden you see like the chat jumps up like 700 people, like just like that. So I actually was watching one of his streams over the weekend with one of it was the Friday night stream, and you should see these guys go nuts. Most of them are football related, so I doubt it'll come into my stream. But anyway, it's kind of cool. But anyway, I was just surprised because obviously I can actually now. He set it up so that I can do it if I want to.
Well, that's cool.
So yeah, I thought that was really cool. But redirect, all I'm getting is search your videos. I guess I'd probably have to have. He's probably already gets to have his video set up, and he probably doesn't. Do you, Brandon Coin?
He said he was doing it now, I think.
All right. Well, let me know when you have it done. Yes, Green Bay sucks. And hey, nothing better. Every other team in the NFC North won except for Green Bay. And I love the fact that that's got to be bugging them to death right now. Gotta love it. He is set up. Okay, well then why the heck can't I?
You can't just search his name, like put like Brandon.
So it gives me two choices. Redirect. I hit add. And I have search videos or search videos from other channels.
That's what you want to search for.
So Brandon Coin. Oh, there it is. Well, PC redirect privileges needed. Ask Brandon Coin to add you to their live direct list in community settings.
Uh-oh, bad friend alert.
Yeah. Mr. Brandon Coin.
Now he's probably not listening because he's going live now.
Probably. Let me see. What is it?
Oh, he said he didn't know that was a thing. Yeah, you gotta go in your settings, Brandon.
Just have to add me to your redirect list in community settings.
You're supposed to be a top flight content creator. You gotta know these things. It's okay. I didn't really know how to use those either. So.
Oh, he'll get it fixed for next time. Fine. Then Give me okay, you're a mod. Provide the link. Now we can shoot people over to you. It's not offshore miner. I love it. It's not like you. It's not like you run a computer shop or anything. Bueller. Is this thing on? Brandon Coin. Link, please, in the chat. Oh man, I can't believe Pocket doesn't have a wrench. Well, that's got to change. HR has to have a wrench.
Oh man, she's the real boss though.
Yeah. All right. You are now going to be in blue the next time you chat. There you go. No, this is not. No, no. This is not about pity. This is not about pity. HR has to have a wrench. Has to. It was an oversight on my part. I have learned the last thing you want to do is piss off HR. Funny story. Very funny story. So, a guy I used to work with was like, hey, there's a job available at the company that you work at. Can you put in a good word for me? I said, I won't put in a bad word. I mean, I think you'd be good for that position, but you don't want me putting in a good word for you. HR and recruiting do not like me. They do not like me. And there's a history to that. That's for off stream. So anyway, so I tell him all this. He gets the job, and about a week in to having the job, my recruiter, who I'm not really talking about when I say that, calls me and says, "No, we love you over here. Just don't want to. I don't. Just trying to clear the air." And I'm like, I just want to kill this guy. I'm like, dude, that was said in confidence with you. I didn't want you sharing that with anybody. God. Anyway, but yeah, there's not everybody in recruiting, but there certainly have been some signs that I'm not their favorite. Let's just leave it at that. So yes, I've learned don't piss off HR. Don't piss off HR. It's not good for your career. Not good for your career at all. Just saying. So, alrighty. Well, I'm sure Brandon Coin is waiting with bated breath to go live. So I am going to send everybody over to him. So I appreciate you. Hold on a second. Pocket change. What did Crypto Craig say? He needs a pip. Yeah, I know what those are because I've had to give them out twice. They are not recently within the last couple of years. They're not fun. They are not fun. And then she says, "Oh, our HR is me as the boss and one other girl or woman, and we are awesome." Sorry, Joker Miner. That's also local government and fluffy. Fluffy. And then Crypto Craig said, "Oh yeah, he needs pip." That's what she was laughing about. Got it. Gosh, Meg, that's a top rule of HR. Nothing is off the record. Well, I thought because he was somebody I had previously worked with that he would have kept it to himself. I was actually shocked that he shared it, but yeah, that just told me a little bit. That's all. It is what it is. I'm an open book pretty much, so tend to say things that maybe other people don't want to hear. But you don't like to hear the truth and you don't want to improve and make things better. Alrighty. Enough work talk. All right. Thank you all for being here, and a special thanks to my special guest, Mr. Mining
Real
King.
Special.
Very special, as I said. Very special guest. Definitely. So again, thank you very much. I appreciate you keeping me company. Definitely made for a much livelier stream than it would have been if it was me alone tonight, because like I said, I was a little tired, but the going back and forth helped out a lot. So again, I appreciate it. So all right, and again, thanks to all of you. If you are new here, please hit the subscribe button if you liked what you saw tonight. If you liked the stream, please hit the thumbs up. If you didn't like the stream, hit the thumbs down and tell me what you think I should change. But would love your feedback. I do read the feedback. So again, thanks everybody. I appreciate it. And Mining King is out and the General is out. Have a good night, everybody.